On Monday morning in SS1B, the classroom hummed with soft chatter, the rustling of notebooks and the occasional scrape of a chair against the tiled floor. The fan overhead spun lazily, barely making a difference in the heat. Bunmi sat at her desk, deeply engrossed in the romance novel. Her eyes scanned the pages quickly, her lips curving slightly at an interesting part. She loved how books transported her away from the dullness of school life. She was so absorbed that she didn't notice the figure standing over her until a shadow fell across her page. "Bunmi," a voice said. She looked up, startled. Kunle stood in front of her, a casual grin on his face. He was one of those boys, always moving around with gist, but he wasn't someone she spoke to much. She adjusted her glasses. "What?" "Come, I want to show you something," he said in a low voice. Bunmi frowned. "Show me what?" "We have chemistry next, and you know how strict Mr. Collins is." "It won't take long," Kunle assured her. She sighed, slipping a bookmark into her novel before following him towards the class entrance. They stood just outside, near the open doorway, where they could still hear the murmurs of their classmates inside. Kunle glanced around, then pulled a neatly folded piece of paper from his pocket and extended it towards her. "Someone said I should give you this." Bunmi hacked an eyebrow. "What is this?" "A letter. From who?" she asked, hesitating before taking it. Kunle smirked. "Just read it, you know." Before she could ask any more questions, she spotted Mr. Collins approaching from the corridor, his thick glasses balanced on his nose, and his chemistry textbook tucked under his arm. Her heart skipped. "Kunle, let's go." They both hurried back to their seats just as Mr. Collins stepped into the classroom. Break time finally came, and Bunmi finally had a moment to herself. Her fingers trembled slightly as she unfolded the letter. The handwriting was neat and deliberate, like the writer had taken the time to make sure every word was clear. "Dear Bunmi." She blinked, her heart stalled in. She took a deep breath and continued reading. "I don't know how to say this without my heart racing, but here it goes. Every time I see you, I feel like I'm in the middle of a perfect equation. Everything just adds up. The way you tuck your braids behind your ear when you're reading. The way your glasses slide down your nose when you're so focused. It drives me crazy in the best way. I know this might sound like something out of the novels you love, but I mean every word. You have this quiet charm that makes the whole class fade away when you speak. Your smile, it's like extra meat in Sunday jollof. Unexpected, but enough to make someone's day. I won't lie. I thought about writing this letter for a long time, but today, I finally found the courage, so here goes. Would you make me the luckiest guy in SS1B and be my girlfriend? I promise. I wanted to stop your reading too much. Maybe just enough to hear you laugh every now and then. No pressure, no rush. Just let me know. Yours hopefully, Jackie boy. Bunmi's fingers tightened around the letter. Her heart pounded. Oh my God, is this boy crazy? She muttered the words under her breath, shaking her head in disbelief. Just as she was about to refold the paper and tuck it into her book, a shadow loomed over her. "Bunmi, what are you reading?" She looked up to see Susan, her seatmate. Leaning in with curiosity, Susan was the type who never missed a chance to poke her nose into Bunmi's business, but right now, she didn't have the energy to fight it. Wordlessly, she handed the letter over. Susan scanned the notes, eyes widening with each line. Then to Bunmi's horror, she let out a loud laugh. "Wow, I never knew Jack was this romantic." Bunmi's eyes flashed with irritation. "Foolish romantic. Please don't get me angry," she snapped, snatching the letter back. Susan held up her hands in surrender. Okay, I'm sorry, but babe, let's be honest. This is sweet. Look at the way it's pouring his heart out." Bunmi rolled her eyes. "I beg, let's go for a break before you start saying nonsense." Susan grinned. "Finally, I'm starving." The canteen buzzed with activity. Students haggling over food, laughter ringing in the air, and the smell of rice, beans, and fried plantain filled the small space. Bunmi and Susan squeezed their way through the crowd, buying yogurt, plantain chips, and the sweet rice and stew wrapped neatly in black nylon. They carried their food back to the classroom, their laughter mixing with the noisy chatter of other students returning from break. As Bunmi slid into her desk and began to eat, she noticed something peeking out from under her desk. Another letter, she frowned. Susan, did you see anyone leave my desk just now? Susan raised an eyebrow. No, why? Bunmi sighed, reaching under the desk to retrieve the paper. She unfolded it carefully, her stomach tightening as she read the words. If you stopped looking at me, my heart would stop beating. My love for you makes my days brighter, makes me live inside a love bubble. I'll be expecting a reply. I love you. What kind of wahala is this? She hissed loudly, crumpling the letter in her fist. This boy is not serious. Susan leaned closer, trying to pick at the note, but Bunmi shoved it into her bag before she could see. Ha, Bunmi, relax now. Why are you so angry? Bunmi shook her head. Susan, I don't like all these things. Somebody will just be disturbing me up and down. Susan smirked. So what will you do? Bunmi exhaled sharply. I'll tell him to stop today. The sun hung lazily in the sky, casting a golden glow over the school compound. Students filed out in groups, some laughing, others dragging their feet, as they prepared for the long walk home. Bunmi was stuffing her books into her bag when she heard footsteps approach her desk. She didn't need to look up. She already knew who it was. Bunmi, she sighed, zipping her bag with extra force before finally lifting her head. Jack stood in front of her, shifting nervously on his feet. Unlike most of the noisy boys in class, Jack was quiet, always minding his business, until now. His cream school shirt was slightly rumpled, his backpack slung over one shoulder. His expression was hopeful yet cautious. Did you see my letters? He asked, his voice low. Bunmi folded her arms. I saw them. Jack swallowed. And what do you think? Bunmi stared at him for a long moment before shaking her head. Jack, I don't know what gave you the idea that I want to be in a relationship. But I don't. Jack's face fell slightly, but Bunmi, I really like you. Please, she raised her hand to stop him. I just want to focus on my studies. I don't have time for all this distraction. Jack opened his mouth, then closed it again. His shoulders slumped slightly. But I meant everything I wrote, he said softly. Bunmi sighed, feeling a tiny flicker of guilt. But she pushed it aside. I appreciate that, Jack, but I can't give you the answer you want. Silence stretched between them. Jack nodded slowly, forcing a small smile. Okay, I understand. He turned to leave, a step slower than before, as if the weight of his emotions had settled into his very movements. Bunmi watched him go, her expression unreadable, but there was a flicker of something, regret, relief in her eyes. Juliet and Funmi stood a few feet away, their eyes glued to the scene unfolding before them. Juliet clutched Funmi's hand tightly. Girl, if Jack just mistakenly asked me out, I will accept fast. Juliet whispered excitedly, barely able to contain herself. Funmi chuckled, shaking her head. Is it to that extent you like him? Juliet sighed dramatically, placing a hand over her heart. Funmi, I don't like him. I love him. Funmi's eyebrows shot up. Then tell him now. Juliet's enthusiasm deflated instantly. I can't though. He doesn't even notice me, talk less of saying hi. She pouted, her shoulders slumping as they turned to leave the scene. Funmi playfully nudged her. You never know. Maybe he does notice you, but he's just shy. Juliet scoffed. Shy, Jack. That guy is bored though. If he liked me, I would know by now. As they walked towards their hostel, the topic shifted. Let's go wash on time before the good spot at the tap are taken, Funmi suggested. What about Shay? I thought he said he likes you, Funmi asked, eyeing her friend mischievously. Juliet rolled her eyes. I don't like him, Jerry. That one is a playboy. He can like 5 girls at the same time and still have space for more. They both laughed. But before they could take another step, a tall, unfamiliar figure stepped into their path. He was carrying a backpack, looking slightly confused, but confident at the same time. His dark skin glowed under the afternoon sun, and his well-pressed stillwear suggested it was new. Hi, the boy said, his voice deep and steady. Please, can you direct me to the boys' hostel? Juliet and Funmi exchanged quick glances. You knew, right? Funmi asked.